want to, we're unable to connect. Okay, all right. All right. Let's see what we're doing. Yes, stay in tablet mode. Let's see what else we got open. Do we have what I need open? No. Let's go to, see look, I'm gonna just turn you to sideways so I ain't gotta sit here and do all of that. So I'm gonna turn you sideways. I created a notepad. It's a grid that I've been working on, and I'm going to make it available to Moors on the website eventually, as well as I'm gonna make it available on the website for download, and it's kind of like a grid on what process.
This service is provided by freeconferencecall.com. There is one host in this conference,
as well as how to stay focused. The one thing that is difficult in nationality is how to stay focused on what you need to be kind of working on, Islam family. And one of the points I wanted to kind of make, and if I have my, you can't see what? What's wrong? I was looking for, are y'all talking about me? All right. What I'm saying here is, hey, when to navigate, right? When to start Islam, when to start manifesting, when to start planning, when to start strategizing. Now, the new moon is when we start setting our intentions. We set our intentions during the new moon. So we set our, see look, that's backwards because I got you. I want to see me so I can freaking talk. So maybe I'm just going to talk this whole show, this whole broadcast, and you're just going to have to write the things down that I'm talking about today. Because I like seeing myself, and then if y'all ask questions, I can see the questions y'all asking, and so now you won't be able to see this appropriately. Because I want to be able to see it along with seeing if you guys are saying anything. You see the dilemma? I have a dilemma here. I want to see what I'm showing you, and I want, you know what, I don't need to see myself. I'm going to just turn it around. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to be cooperative and just turn the damn camera around. So you see, people are wait a minute, did I turn it? Okay, I guess I did. So let's see if I can see it appropriately. I don't know how the hell this is going to work. I can't see me. All right, whatever. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Am I in the appropriate venue for this video? Am I in the middle? Can you see me in that video? Oh goodness, this is going to be difficult because I can't see you. You got the new moon here. You got the full moon here, right? Consider yourself a circle. You're a circle. You got the full moon, you got the new moon here. You got the full moon here, right? All right. Oh, look at my cameraman came up. So I'm trying to represent that. So look at yourself as a circle, new moon, full moon, right? You are waxing from new moon to full moon, and then you're waning from full to new moon.
Do you want me to tag?
No, you don't gotta talk. I just want to make sure.
Tag. Somebody said, do you want me to tag?
I don't know what they're talking about.
May League in this video?
Tag who?
May, M-A-E, League, L-E-A-G.
If that's what y'all want to do, I don't know. Okay. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know. I have no idea. But the point I'm trying to make is that we do everything backwards as a nation because we've been denationalized, right? And we've been, while not following our culture, science, knowledge has been used against us to to sabotage us. And so when we are dealing with things, we are not dealing with them appropriately. So what I'm trying to tell you is to set your intentions on the new moon. You set your intentions on the new moon, and then full moon is usually kind of the completion. And then when you like when you think about this to this, right? That's waxing, right? And that's from there, and then so from full back to moon is waning. Okay? So I'm just trying to get you to utilize the lunar calendar, which is our internal clock is based on this. If for women, specifically for women, if you are still in the season where you are having menstrual flowing, right? If you're still flowing once a month, that clock, if you're in alignment, will mimic the moon. I mean the lunar calendar. The lunar calendar. So when we think about the new moon, think about the new moon as being the first of your month. And technically, historically and ancestrally, we started new cycles. We didn't call them months. We called them cycles. We started new cycles on the new moon. And it wasn't when the moon is considered, they say, a dark moon. It's when the moon, when you first see the moon, is when your new cycle starts. So that's when you're starting to set your intentions. You're starting to set your intentions at the new moon, right? So that's what would be some of the things that we want to get accomplished during the new moon. So we want to set the intention, and that is to actually think of it first. So during this time, the new moon getting to the full moon, we're setting our intentions as to what we would like to get accomplished, right? So that means you're thinking it, and you're scribing it. And we got to get into the habit of thinking what we want to get planned in this new cycle, and then scribing it down, writing it down like a things to-do list, writing it down during this part of the cycle, the first of the cycle. Now, this, from the new moon to the full moon, that's 14 days, y'all. 14 and a half degrees. Let's say degrees, because degrees is what it really is. It's 14 and a half degrees. So you got 14 days to start to getting what you thought and what you wrote down accomplished to the full moon, right? And then the energy, because you did this at the new moon to the full moon, you benefit from that energy that you have just expensed. So think about your intention set to be, I want to proclaim and declare my nationality. And you set that intention on the first of the new cycle, which is the new moon, the dark moon, when you can't see it. And there are many apps and many databases that you can go and you can just say, where the moon at today? Is it waxing? Is it waning? Is it full? Is it new? I mean, is it new moon? And you'll find out. And you want to use that cycle to set your intentions, okay? And I'm giving you this. It's important that you do it this way, because this is how they do everything against you, okay? They use this cycle to determine when they're going to set their little corporate courts, when they're going to do their stealing from you, when they need. This is the calendar that they use. From the first to the last day of their cycle, which is their fiscal year, is how they determine, like if they put a lot of energy from the 1st to the 14th, by the end of the month, they should be reaping rewards. And that's how you see extra activity during the end of the fiscal month, because they're trying to make their numbers. So that's where they'll have checkpoints. That's where they'll start increasing, pulling people over, because they want to have finances, right? They want to have finances.
Got a question. Someone would like to know if there is if that is like charting.
Is that who?
Like charting.
Like or life charting.
L-I-K-E.
Life chart. I don't know what like charting is. Maybe life charting. So this is how we are supposed to plan our cycles. We are supposed to go based on our internal systems. And for mothers, babies, because you are the womb man, your intentions and what you manifest absolutely positively happens on that same energy cycle, right? On that same natural cycle. So if you got 14.5 degrees to the full moon, you got another 14.5 degrees back to the new. So how many cycles, how many so-called degrees is there in the full moon cycle? The full moon cycle is like 29 point something, there's some decimals. 29, roughly 29 degrees days for a whole completed cycle of the lunar calendar. And that's our science. That's how we're supposed to be moving. And I'm saying this because this is what you need to utilize in order to set your intentions by what you think, scribing it down so you don't forget and you stay focused. Track it from the new moon to the full moon. And this will help us all to get the things accomplished that we need to get accomplished on a consistency basis. And then we'll reap during the waning. We'll reap the benefits of all the things that we've manifested. And we manifested. This will be like the manifestation stage, right? We manifested because we first started at the new moon. So I'm saying these things to say, look at that as the way you are navigating and the way you are moving in your society and the empire of Morocco. So I'm saying that on purpose. Now, seasons. Hey guys, you know this place. Okay, let's switch tablets.
Okay, another question to, and well, a follow up to what she said. She said, Talika Bag, to optimize our energies. She said, is that what it means? And then she says here, how they go by the astrological charting.
How do they go by the astrological charting? Mm-hmm. They use the energies. When the energies are high, when the energies are low. They tap into your energies by the social media platform also. So the more you look at the things that they're doing, the more they will try to play on, let's say, your root chakra. So they'll show you a bunch of stuff that happens to Asiatics. A lot of it is acting. A lot of what you see on TV, regardless of if it's being portrayed as nonfiction or fiction, it's most likely fiction, because the only thing that they are trying to control is your mind. So they use that calendar to set appointments, to plan everything. They use it based on the energies. They use your energy that you are not using. They use your science that you think is witchery and that you think is demonic. They're using it against you. I'm showing you how to set your intentions and use your science to benefit you and not your oppressor. So, what does this look like? Does anybody know what this is? Looks like a pie chart. What is this? What do you think this is? This is the Earth glyph.
The Earth glyph, okay.
It represents more than just the Earth glyph too, though. It represents the seasons. At one point, family, we used to only have one season, just so you know. But I'm not going to plot the seasons because I always get the things wrong. Because, right, that's kind of what it looks like, right? And then you have your seasons, your solstice and your equinox. I'm not going to get into the solstice and the equinox. I'm just letting you know during the winter solstice. Solstice, I always spell winter solstice wrong. We think that on the 1st of January is when we're supposed to set our intentions for what we want to do for the next year. That is the dead season, y'all. That's when everything is chilling. That's when everything is relaxing. And that's when all of the harvest and things on the ground gets its rest. Why would you set your intentions for the new year at the time the damn seasons are dead and sleeping and hibernating? You don't set intentions during January 1st. You set intentions based on the natural seasons of the earth. I'm telling you this because on January 1st, everybody like, oh, I'm going to lose 20 pounds, or oh, I'm going to save some finances, or oh, I'm going to get in touch with family. I'm going to plan for a vacation. Why does it 99.9% of the chance never happen? Because you're setting it at the wrong time of the year. I'm telling you this as a precursor because I want to get into what I really want to talk about. But I was encouraged by the ancestors last night to talk about these two things. And to let you know, think about Easter, Estar, that season. That is the seasons of intentions because it's rebirth, right? Now it's the growing season. You start seeing soon as you got to look at the earth. You got to look at the world around you, and you got to make your intentions, set your intentions by what you think and manifest at that time of the year when it's fertile. Now everything's coming back. It had a chance to rest because y'all put it through so much HELL and on this earth with all of the horrible things we do on the planet. She needs a rest right now. That's where winter comes from because we kill her every year. She has to literally look, I gotta take a break. Hopefully you saved up for the season because I'm out of here for a while. And so she go take her nap like a bear, hibernates. And then the new season comes in, which is what? Then we have the spring. We have the spring. The spring is new life, rejuvenization. She woke up, woo, I'm ready for the world. And that's the time you're supposed to tell her, so am I. This is what I need. This is what I want to occur. And she right there with you, right? So spring is the time of flowers and blooming and everybody who got allergies to be sitting here mad at the world. Where she's eradicating stuff. Because she was dormant for a while. So now she got to get rid of all of the stuff on the land. So that's what spring is, y'all. And I say these things because spring is the time you should be manifesting and setting your intentions for the next year, let's say. But keep in mind, cycles go in 7. Our cycles are 7 days. 7 days is 1 year, technically. Always know that. All of those different, we're older than you think, is all I have to say. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is, your new year, technically, to be setting intentions is the 20th of March. Mm-hmm. So that's when you should be preparing, doing your spring cleaning. That's when you should be doing all of the things that you need to do to get ready to set those intentions, family, not in the dead of winter. Okay? So now we're going to get on some real stuff. Even though that was real stuff, I didn't want to go too deep in it because I don't want to mess up. But like Sharon, you was wrong. No, that's on the other side. That's a flip side, upside down. I just wanted to show you that's the earth glyph. If you ever want to know what the earth glyph is, it's that right there. And when we greet each other, we be like doing this. This is the symbol of love. I'm telling y'all, family, they have bastardized and colonized a lot of our rituals. So when we used to be like, hey, Islam Moors, peace and love, like these are things that we did. Right? Mm-hmm. All right. Where we at? This is a grid. I created a grid for y'all. Me too. Don't get it twisted. Because I need focus. I'm a Sag, y'all. I'm a Sag. And we don't like doing the same thing over and over and over again. We get a little bored. And we be like, all right, you can take over. I'm taking a break for the next 3 weeks. Right? So I created a grid on what you need to be doing. Now, right now, we ain't got time to be waiting for the spring for you to be setting intentions because we are behind the 8 ball. Moors, you are behind the 8 ball if you haven't done the basics. What am I saying when I say the basics? I mean, if you haven't declared and proclaimed your nationality, if you haven't done that, you're behind the 8 ball. We have a lot to get done by this date here. And this is the date the consulate gives you. My date's like 4 weeks. It's actually quite less than that. That is your target, to have your houses in order. What am I saying when I say houses? I'm putting a little astrology in there, but Noble Isaiah L. is the one who is the expert as well as Kimberly Von Bay. both consuls of the Moorish American Consulate at why you track the planets. Because if you realize that lovely little glyph, like if you've ever seen your natal chart, I ain't going to even get into it really like that because I ain't going to butcher it. Your natal chart look like that too. And it's split up into 12 grids, 12 houses. And each house may or may not have a planet in it. This is your classroom. This shows you what it is that you're supposed to be doing and focusing on in order not to get your butt beat by mom. If you want to have a harmonious time and learn all of the things that you are supposed to learn here on this plane of manifestation, it is your responsibility to know your natal charts, know your trinity, your sun, your moon, and ascending. Know who you are. You can't know who you are, no matter how much you may think, if you don't know your natal chart. Because that chart is going to help you get through the obstacles and the weaknesses within us all. I'm a Sag. It's one house, I ain't telling you the house, that got a lot of planets in it. And I'm like, really? If there's a lot of planets in your house, that means you got a lot to learn in that house. That's what that kind of means. Isaiah, Noble Isaiah L, can enhance it, and he has classes where he has like 101 on astrology. Had the first class last Sunday. Or, yeah, just past Sunday. It was a beautiful class. Hit him up with an email so you can get the link to that class, because he talked about Astrology 101, what you need to know about what's coming up. And the astrologies let you know when's a great time to move, when you should stop and think, and when you should plan, right? So I'm only saying this to say the lunar calendar is a calendar from cycle to cycle, right? And cycles are one specific rotation in the lunar calendar. And then the seasons of the year, you need to set your intentions in the right time, as well as know your natal chart, as well, and importantly, your trinity. That's the month the sign was when you were born, which is the sun sign, the moon sign, and the ascending. What planet was rising, I think it is, when you were born. So what was coming? Islam. So that's a little bit of how to effectively navigate, because this science that you think is witchery, witchcraft, voodoo, demonology is your science. If you don't use it, it'll be used to manipulate you. And it has been used to manipulate us as Moorish American nationals. All right, because we ain't got that much time. This is only going to be a 2-hour broadcast. We're going to end this at 12 and then go down and do some work. Why did my thing go off? All right, you want to play with me? Thank you. All right. So I call this, I ain't got a name for it. I don't have a name for it, actually. I call this what you need to stay focused on and get done, and certain methods you can use. I was completing a lien yesterday for the whole state of Pennsylvania. Took me all day, but this was a precursor from the right to travel document that I completed, that's on the website right now, with the Supreme Judiciary of the Moorish American Consulate. Knowing the organizational chart is very, very important, because then you know the places and the stations for which people are afflicting us, right? Especially under that corporate district. Probably next week, when we reserve the room, probably next week, I'm going to go through that whole chart next week. And will probably be longer than 2 hours. I'm not sure. We'll see. And I might just break it up throughout the freaking month, throughout the week, just to do it justice and not to kind of gloss over any particular point. Now, the grid I have looks kind of like this, and I have to keep it, plugged up because it's dying. I let it die last night. So, where Is my babies out there chilling? Newsy young ladies. They so newsy.
See them,
So newsy. Why can't I just take this out? Oh, that's not what I want to do. I want to move it. How do I do full screen? Anyway, whatever. It's not going to let me do it. I don't know why. View. Full. Nope. Navigation. Show all. Hide all. There we go. There we go.
Oh.
I want you to be able to see this, so I'm gonna try my best. It's like funny because I want you to be able to see it, but then I gotta be able to see it to tell you what it looks like. Can y'all see that?
Mm.
How am I? You better move closer to me. Sorry.
All right, wait. I want to mess this up.
You just you're going down.
Okay.
Not unless you want to move this whole table.
Yeah, just, yeah. Watch out. Yeah. So, but I need to see that.
Can you see it?
Mm-hmm. Come look right here. See, I need them to see it clearer.
It's got to adjust, focus.
I don't know how to adjust it.
It's not doing nothing?
Need to adjust it. I don't know how
What is it, blurry?
to a little bit.
Yeah, lift it up a little bit.
Maybe I gotta go this way.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta do it from this angle. Can y'all see this?
Not clear.
Y'all still can't see this
Let
clear?
me see something.
Oh goodness.
Wait.
Where is you going?
Right. Right. I want them to see it.
Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
They can see it.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can see this. All right, good. This is a grid that I created, and I'm going to have it available on the website for you guys to download in order to know where in the process you are and where, what is exposed, what's the word I'm looking for? What is available for you. All right? It starts with nationality, and it goes over to declaration of the Moorish, of your private trust. Then it goes into the right to travel. Then it goes into the removal of court cases to the Moorish American Consular Court, which we're going to spend the majority of today talking about. And then there is the extractions. We get Moors are taken unlawfully every day, and you need to know how to do these extractions, families, because the Moorish American Consulate, contrary to popular belief, is here to assist, not do for. We're here to assist Moors to stand up righteous and get out of their own messes that they've gotten themselves into by being denationalized and not being in alignment. So don't think that it's our job to save you. It's our job, all of our job, to save one another. So you have to be a part of that. And how quickly or how long you delay makes it difficult for you, because now you have to start all the way over here, right? And regardless of where you are in the process, they don't care. They hope you like over here just thinking about it and ain't even over in this tier. They're hoping that. And then you have writs affidavits at your disposal. So we have a list, and I literally just started this grid last night because it came to me in the middle of the night, and I said, you know what? They need to know what they have as your arsenal, and what you need to utilize for anything that you may be going through, as well as the commands that the Moorish American Consulate, Moorish National Republic Federal Government has already completed, right? And we know the Declaration of Independence that predates the consulate. The current consulate that just has been reestablished I think it was May 18, 2018, just this year. And you have the Articles of Confederation, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, Constitution for the United States, the Vienna Convention on Consular Affairs, the Notice of the Existence of the Moorish American Consulate, the Internal Writ of Removal, which is very important, and Arrest Command, and then the Internal Affidavit of Right to Travel. So those are the documents that we've come out with already, and under all of these subheadings are different things that are available on the website for your downloadable pleasure. Okay? One of the important things to always highlight is the fact that we are based, right here, MAC number, let me enlarge it, see if you can see it. I know it'd be adjusting. Right there, that's the Declaration of Trust of the Moorish National Republic Federal Government, that record number. All Moors are conveyed in that trust. So if you currently do not have your trust established, your private family trust established, even if you do, you refer to this. And you refer to this because this is the government trust, and this trust has already reconveyed all land, all fixtures, all hereditaments, everything, all property back into the hands of the Moors, all Moors. Not any specific Moors of any specific chapter of any specific organization. Every Moor that has the bloodline. Islam? So when people are trying to kick you out of homes, when they are trying to hypothecate and steal you and your property, you let them know, look, I'm already conveyed, all of my property, me included, is already conveyed and covered under the trust of the Moorish National Republic Federal Government. And this document is downloadable. And this document, which is a one-page declaration, should accompany all your claims for all these corporations. Islam? Because the reasons why they are sending bills, the reasons why they are hypothecating and taking what is yours is because they are using the so-called global trust to try to tap into. This is the trust now. All right? But you guys have to, if you don't know of these laws, you don't got no rights. You got to know the law. We all have to know the law. And that binder that I've been talking about, that I've been emailing everybody, that's sitting here on the table, that is also going to be downloadable from the website simultaneously. I've already put the request in for it to be uploaded to the site. So within the next day or two, you should be able to go to the website to download that binder for newly nationalized Moors. The law you need to know. It's literally called that.
That's fine.
Binder for the newly nationalized Moors, the law you need to know. All right? So, what we're going to talk about the majority of this time is this section right here. I'm putting it up for you to see it. This is the removal of court cases to the Moorish American Consular Court and your responsibility, family. Okay. Now it's coming out on. We will effectively be accepting cases. I'm gonna show you now. This date right here. This date right here, January 29th, 2019, the Moorish American Consular Court will be accepting notices of removals. So I implore you, where is the moon at today? Let's see if anybody knows where the moon is at today. And I will find out if somebody can tell me where it's at right now. I know we just passed the full, so we're waiting. Let's see. Do I have the web browser open? Let's see where the moon is today. All right. Waning. The moon is waning. It is currently on, is it on Liberty? Where is the moon at right now? The moon is in Libra today, y'all. It'll be in Libra today and tomorrow. Then it'll go hit Scorpio for the next 2 days. But right now, it is in the last quarter phase and it's waning. So it just left a full, right? So the bottom is waning. Waning crescent. So it's on the 5th is the new moon. So that's when you set your intentions, right? On the 5th. We almost there, y'all. Look, the new moon It's going to be in Capricorn. That's on a Saturday, next Saturday. So, hey, that's hell of a time to start setting your intentions, as well as scribing what you want to get accomplished in this next phase. So we got January 5th. But we know darn well on the 29th, we're going to start accepting cases. So what should you be preparing, and what should be one of the intentions that you set? One of the, what should you be thinking right now to get you prepared for that new moon on January the 5th? You should be getting the cases that you are currently involved in ready for removal. You should be getting cases ready for removal. And what could you be doing already to have that done? You ain't got to start on the 5th, but why not? Start getting it prepared now by scribing it, right? Putting it in writing. So what's the first process? The first process of the new moon, of notice of removal. And this is for all cases in the de facto corporation. Every last one, right? That's cases that's already been adjudicated. That's cases that are in process now. And that's cases that you might walk out the door and all of a sudden be upon you. So all cases are, you have to do the notice of removal, right? So this is a document. There is currently one on the website. We are upgrading that, but that is usable for right now, all right? What is supposed to be involved with your notices of removal? So you have the actual lawful document called notice.
Yeah, there's somebody here. It popped up.
Somebody who?
Stacy. She said, I'm here.
Oh, you can put it right here, because I don't, unless you, because I don't want you to hold it.
No, the
unless
person said, somebody's here, so I'll go see what it is. She said, I'm here. So she must be
She on your ear or something?
She popped up on the screen.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
She must be downstairs. Okay.
So notice of removal, right? That's because we started early, and we had to start early because the room is being taken right now. It's being used at 11 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, all of a sudden, the room being used at 11 o'clock. I'm going to make sure somebody's walking in there at 11 o'clock. I'm going to go check. But okay, notice of removal, because I know that individual out there right now, she got a little attitude. So I know somebody better be going in there at 11 o'clock. We had beef, and Light knows the beef we had, because I was on the phone talking, and she was like, you can't be talking in the library. This is the stuff I be telling you, man. Corporate policy does not trump your laws and your rights. Keep telling y'all gotta stop letting these couples always try to tell you what to do on your own land and your own buildings.
I should.
All right, so notice of removal. You complete the notice of removal and all supporting documentations. You start rounding that stuff up. All supporting documents. What supporting documents should be there to support your notice of removal? Well, actually, the so-called court case that you might have received, that should be a part of it. So the supporting documents will be the supporting documents will be the so-called case you got in the mail. That so-called case, so-called citations, so-called war rants, all of these things should be accompanying the notice of removal, along with your rebuttals, your adverse claims, your affidavits to the contrary to challenge whatever notices that you received in the mail, right? So you have to make sure you have all of that attached, right? That's what you're going to send us, but guess who you're sending the notice of removal to, the actual notice. You're sending that to the so-called corporate courts that's claiming they have jurisdiction to bring you in their tribunals. So the notice of removal is being sent certified return receipt to the so-called corporation that's claiming you need to make a special appearance. You're sending that because that information, that validation is what we need to even attempt to accept your case for removal. What else has to be attached to your case for removal? I don't want to get too far with that because you need to be more. So what you need to do, if you, like I said, you don't want to be at the first section of that grid. If you ain't even on the grid, let's say if you have not declared or proclaimed your nationality, you ain't even on that grid. So you are trying to get on the grid. Let's just say that. You out there in the waiting line. How you doing, mama? Trying to get on the grid. Okay? And that's through the nationality process. You want to proclaim and declare your Moorish nationality. That's the first thing you need to do. You need to get it signed, you need to get it sealed, you need to get your witnesses, and you need to send it in to be recorded with the Moorish American Consulate, and you get that MAC number, that MAC number. Because that number is going to validate only that you have declared and proclaimed your Moorish nationality. Because there's steps to this, family. Notification, notification, notification. I know this is uncomfortable for a lot of Moors. We're not used to demonstrating in a lawful and governmental society process. We're used to just complaining and just having a talk about it and then having some drinks and then just getting up and going back to the plantation. Let me tell you, I was so animated last night when I was thinking of all of this. Y'all don't even understand. I had people up here. We ain't got enough yet, because you know everybody gonna be late. We ain't got enough yet to have the people that I wanted to be up here, right? It was gonna be 3 people. I'm gonna demonstrate the 3 people. So when you set your intentions, you starting here, you like. So this is the first. This is during the new moon. You sitting here, what do I want to do for the next 30 days? 14 actually. What intentions do I want to set? If I'm under Negro, colored, and black, the first thing I should be thinking is, I need to declare and proclaim my Moorish nationality. So, I'm thinking it, right? So now I'm thinking, I need to declare and proclaim my Moorish nationality. So now you got the next person, right? Look, I got you moving, right? So now I'm not thinking, I'm actually filling out the paperwork. So now I'm scribing. Well, well, yes, come up. Come on, what? I need 3 people. I need 3 people. This is awesome. Yup, I'm going to get behind the camera. Y'all be the 3 people in front of the camera. Islam family. Now we got our 3 Moors. We got the thinking. So you got to have to think. You got to do this. What am I thinking of manifesting? And then you writing, because now whatever you're thinking, you're writing it down. So now I'm thinking I gotta declare and proclaim my Moorish nationality. Now you writing it down. You like, oh, let me get together. Let me do the scribing. Let me get this down. What you doing? She is saying, do I want to do this? She's still deciding. She's deciding, but she should have been over there deciding, right? She should have been in the new moon deciding, but she already at full moon. She already at full moon. And what full moon supposed to be doing? She's supposed to be turning it in. Because she scribed it, she thought it, she's supposed to be mailing it out. So you folding up stuff. So you folding up, you mailing it out, right? You mailing it out. So that's what you're doing, right? You're thinking it, you're here thinking it, you're here scribing it, you're here doing what? Writing it up, sealing it out, getting it out, right? So this is what you're supposed to be doing. When you think something, you're supposed to write it down, and then you're supposed to get it done. Islam? And if you don't write it down, thank you. And if you don't write it down, and you don't think it, Islam family, how you gonna get it done? Because guess what happens in the land of colonization? You get all these things coming at you. All these different things coming at you. And the most thing that's coming at you during the month is what? You at the plantation for the most part. You at the plantation for 40 hours out of your life, unless you're one of those workaholics for 80 hours of your life. When you supposed to be getting it done? So you go from new moon to full moon, back to new moon to full moon. Guess why you got an attitude during the full moon? Guess why you got an attitude during a full moon? That energy come to hit you, and you be like, you ain't did nothing this month. And the energy hits you. Your subconscious, your spirit within is hitting you. Your spirit within is saying, how am I going to get her to do anything? Because these are the, you know, when you think about the people on your shoulder, the little red man, which is supposed to be the evil person, And then the little white man, which is supposed to be the little angel. Are the white man the angels and is the red man really the demon? Because it's on your shoulder saying, you remember, I know we remember in our time, we had what? Was it Tom and Jerry? Where they used to have a little, yes, Tom and Jerry had a little thing and he's like, no, don't do that. Well, if you do that, I mean, like seriously, that's your subconscious. That is your lower and your higher self talking to you. And it's talking to you by the actions you actually manifest. So if you don't manifest right actions, the demon is in control. Even though we think that that's the lower self, let's call it the lower self, is in control, the one that just want to party all the time. So you sit here partying, you just having a good old time. You just sitting here partying, like, oh girl, we're gonna go see the football game, or we're gonna go to the hair salon. You just fill up your whole month with nonsense. And then as soon as you go, you hear whoop whoop, whoop whoop. All of a sudden you like thinking, what you thinking at that time? Because this person was here, I'm thinking about nationality. And then this person right here was, let me write down, I want to get it done. I want to get nationality done this cycle. And then the third one is getting it done. Your ass was party all the time. You was just chilling. Seriously. You get involved in all of the things, making all types of excuses. And now your butt getting pulled over, and you know, because you cocky. Because we cocky in our ignorance. We so cocky it don't make no damn sense. So when they pull you over, you're like, I got license, I got registration, I got proof of insurance. What he want? And then you're mad. You're like, how can I help you? You got to tell light out, can I see license, registration, proof of insurance? You have it because you're still under that non-begear. Some people don't. Some people don't. And they got to sit here and be like, it's expired, now we play dumb. It's expired, what do you mean? But for women, that ain't really dumb because we really don't be paying attention. Because we are the caregivers of the world. Okay? Not just our children, the world. Right?
That's
so now
right.
they're sitting here like, and saying, what are they saying? They're making all types of excuses, like, oh my God, And this policy enforcer like, look, chick, I need to get paid. He don't care unless you got something to offer. He don't care, right? So now you got yourself a citation. And now you got, and you sitting here like, well, I ain't did nothing. It didn't even come to you that you did nothing wrong. He pulled you over, smacked 3 tickets on you. And you don't even know what those damn tickets made. Because it don't say on the ticket what it made. It just got the code. And what you're thinking, guess what you're thinking now? I should have did that damn nationality paperwork a month ago. Now, guess what? For basic things, they pulling you over. They is so guilty. For basic things, that's why I don't like being here. I like being in the other room. For basic things, they pull you over. Basic. Things that are not even against the law. They're not even against the code. Because it ain't got nothing to do with anything. You their property, they can seize you up whenever they want. They don't have to have an excuse. And today, they're telling you, look, we need to get these finances because these Moors is tapping into everything, is destroying everything. They knocked off half the board of Monopoly, and we struggling. So now we're going to the people who thought that they were safe because they had the safe jobs, they had they paid their car insurance, license and registration, they did all that. And obeyed the traffic rules, and they still find themselves inside the institutions with a $100,000 bond. $100,000 bond. It's called extortion. It's called human trafficking, national human trafficking. It's called, what's that other one? They're pirates. Seasoned people lost at sea so they can get some ransom. And that's what the bond really is. They try to say, oh, we just want to make sure you appear in our tribunal. No, what they want to make sure is they get a contract for you to first make a down payment for your own liberation, which makes no sense. You did nothing. You ain't even an injured party. So they want a down payment, and then guess what you collateralizing? Guess what your family is collateralizing? A house, a car, something. So guess what happens when you don't show up? They seize more. So it's like an ever-ending battle. And then one of the questions that you need to ask yourself is, who the heck is doing this? We talked about that last week, and the week before that. And we're going to talk about that next week when I got my board behind me. Because who's really doing this are the very people you see at the supermarket, the very people you see down the street, the very people you see at your place of employment, which are what human trafficking and human slavery really is today. Because they got you to believe that Federal Reserve notes was money. So they got you working on plantations for something to buy back something that was already yours. And the only thing you need to seize that stuff that's yours back up again is to proclaim and declare your Moorish nationality. Nobody else can do that. You can. What you waiting for? Back to writ of removal, notices of removal. So I say those things so you can set your intentions on the 5th. Write it down. Get these boards. I'm telling you, get a big one. Get a big board. Put it in a room that you're in, kitchen, dining room, somewhere, or just a piece of paper. And write nationality card, nationality ID, what's the third one? Family trust. Now today after this class, we're going to jump offline and talk about trust and getting them done. Because certain people are already on the grid, for one. They're on there because they declared or proclaimed their nationality. And now they just have to navigate and work through that grid of the things that they need to do and just get it done, as they would say, right? So the notice of the adjudication of cases for the Moorish American Consular Court is beginning January 29th, 2019. That's on I think Thursday, right? But you don't want to wait until you're back up against the wall, because all of those seasons, all of those cycles, you've been ignoring and having fun. And you might not even have been ignoring and having fun. You might have literally been doing a whole lot of work, just nothing to benefit you. And don't you think you should be coming here and having a benefit for the life you're living and the energy you're spending? Did it get you out? I always forget to hit silent on that. So, what did we talk about? We talked about the notice of removals of cases, right? Sending out, as soon as you get a citation of some sort, you send out a notice of removal to the Moorish American Consulate, because today, that is the only Article 3 court in Morocco. All of these tribunals, including, if you want to look at Pennsylvania Corporation, they start with the superior, the supreme, then they have the superior, then they have common court of pleas, then they got minor courts, district courts. Guess what they doing? Guess where they make their finances? Stealing from you. And they're not necessarily stealing from you. They hypothecated the land because you think you came from another place. Plus all the taxes and stuff. Their wealth, which is an illusion, which is your wealth, is all that they are doing through the citation courts. Through the so-called courts, the so-called taxes that you're paying. But reality is you're paying nothing, because Federal Reserve notes is not money. What you're using is your energy and your wealth and the land and the resources on the land. That's what slavery is today, family. It's an uncomfortable thing to know. It's an uncomfortable thing to have to admit, and to see your children and you're handing them this because you don't have knowledge. You're handing it to them. Don't we want to hand them their estate, hand them their nobility, hand them the Moroccan Empire, which is theirs by birthright? So we got to stop playing Monopoly. Wake up. Wash our faces and get it done. Like, seriously. And
it's fun.
So, notice of removals. We talked about you need to be a Moor. You have to be in your proper status. So that's the first thing. After your proper status, you need to get your identification cards. Because contrary to popular belief, it is easy to determine whether or not you're a Moorish American national. It is blood right? But some people look like Moors and they really ain't. Some people look like Moors and they really ain't. So now you have to have identification, which is kind of like your authentication. Even though your body and your blood and your appearance can almost validate you on its own, that nationality identification validates it a little bit further. It's putting it on the record. It's putting the adverse claim in that, nope, your nationality card is your rebuttal. In some cases, when people say, I ain't even going to suggest it because y'all won't do it. I ain't even going to do it. But your rebuttal to their claim that that you owe them something, and that Negro, African American, black tag is your nationality. That's what you use. So the grid that I showed you was a map, a blueprint. You don't got to go up on it, like zero up on it. But this grid is your beacon light, kind of like. And last night I was thinking about it. Last night, you ain't got to turn it around. I was just trying to look at it for myself. But the first grounded thing that we need to get grounded in is the law. Outside of nationality, the first thing you need to get grounded in is the law. That is the supreme laws of the land. And know what arsenal you have. The more Moors that domicile near you, the stronger you are. The vulnerable you are, so don't you think we should start talking to one another? Don't you think we should start getting, regardless of how we feel about it, regardless of what is being portrayed in the media, because they are doing their job at trying to make you look like you're the only damn one when there's like 20, 30 people probably living in your same, near the same county you domicile near. It's more than you think. And their job is to make you think you are the only one, so you do nothing. Islam? And holding them accountable. I had a grid that I'm working on. I'm telling you, I don't get no sleep. I had a grid I was working on that showed the organizational structure. It starts with the governor of the so-called corporate state, and it trickles down. Moors, we have to demonstrate, and we have to not get stuck in our feelings when things happen to us. They're happening to us. We're going through the pain that we're going through because we got to move to a next level. We have to move, right? And if we don't move, Mother's going to shout, it's going to put some calamity in us because she gave us all the blueprints and all the maps to realize what's coming. So we have warning. We just don't tap into that science because we don't know about it. And when we know about it, because it's uncomfortable, we sit there and say, I don't want to, I don't, you know, we make excuses. And we need to stop, sit down. Let me tell you, when I first started nationality, when I first started into, the first thing I was looking for was myself. I was literally looking for Sharon. I was like, where is Sharon? I was like, this can't be all that life is about. So going to a job, you have no family, even though there's thousands of you. Because we have sacrificed our life, our culture, our government for something that's foreign to us. And that ain't been treating us very, very well. Even though they owe everything to you, ain't been treating you very well. But if they was, would you ever nationalize, I wonder? If we were sitting there living in big buildings and driving beautiful cars, like think about it. A lot of people that's currently doing that, they like, look, I'm good. Until what happens? Calamity. Calamity will make everybody move. But like, what? Some people will move without the darn calamity. They be like, look, I'm tired of this. I got to work till I'm, what, 75? Is that the new retirement age now? You see grandma working at McDonald's? That's cool. I remember when I was a child, even though I was in subjugation, oh my God, what the children have today, they all in the house. In their rooms playing video games. Don't know their cousins, their nephews, don't know. There's something wrong with this. We got to fix it. I'm going to fix it. And by me fixing it, you ain't got a choice. Because I'm going to make y'all uncomfortable. She like a little baby, huh? You see, when they babies, they love you when they babies. They love you when they babies. When they grow up, they get that darn talk. Look, it's them against us. And now they getting that talk. Look, you better go find yourself an Asiatic mother of the son, so we got protection. I was like, they'll jump sides in a moment's notice for a benefit. But anyway, I digress. So, okay, I want to make sure I'm covering some points because I don't want to be on this, like we got till 12 o'clock in here in terms of talking on this platform. I'm surprised ain't nobody asking a question. They ain't asking no questions because, you know, everybody probably just came in like, no, she ain't starting an hour early. How dare she?
Queen Khalifa did ask the question. She said she just put up affidavit. She said,
she just said affidavit?
Yeah, I think she said it right. She just said it in terms of where you were with
where I
what
was
you
in the
need to do.
broadcast? Oh, that ain't a question. She was
Okay.
just putting
Yeah,
it
she
in.
just. Okay.
Okay, my thing is, I'm the only one in my family that's doing my best to wake up.
Let me tell you, let me correct you. Your family is billions of Moors.
Okay.
It is not isolated in our nuclear family, and that's one of the things we got to get comfortable with and realize that that's your sister, I'm your sister, that's your brother, that's your brother. And we get concerned because keep in mind, I am a child of 13, last born, only one nationalized. Last born, only one nationalized. My parents are deceased. I'm sure they watch my videos because that's the kind of family I have. They will watch my videos, won't say nothing. I have a twin. I've been talking to her about this stuff for 3 years.
Wow.
You will have a natural progression to ignore them after a while and move where you need to move. And in time, through your actions and your movements, they will move or they won't. And you're not going to care when you get to that point.
And I attended a temple for about 2 months straight. And I'm like, I'm here. It was too cliquish. It was so cliquish.
It's a church, right?
And it was just like I was going to church. I raised all my kids in church. I was raised in church. So I'm like,
Children's, by the way.
I need baby steps. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at all these people on YouTube.
Tariq.
I'm watching him on YouTube. And I'm like, Dad, I'm chiming in. Like, where can I go back in Philly? I need to be sitting in class. You know, then I'm like, okay, I want to claim my nationality. Then somebody tells me, oh, no, don't claim it yet. Wait for a couple of years. And I'm
Couple
like,
of years?
Yeah,
And was they nationalized when they said it?
Because I'm new to it. You understand what I'm saying? But they was like, well, you know, see if this is for you. And I'm like, if you made this for me, it's not, to me, it's not a religion. To me. You
It's not. It's a realignment. It's not a religion.
Right. So I'm like, well, I'm kind of on a fence, but I'm here because I want to know. You know what I mean? I came here to claim my nationality.
Yes, Mom.
You know, but it's just, I don't know what books to read. I call myself starting my own library. I have the Black Law Dictionary book edition. I have so many, to me it's so many books. I got like 13 books. You know, but it's like, I don't know, it's certain books that I should read.
Do you remember when we was younger? How we used to have all those law books, and our parents used to have all these books that they never read. They just sat there. I remember these books. Wish I knew where they was today.
Right.
But we had the books. We never read them.
It's like, okay, the books that I had, like, I read. But I want to read for understanding.
Overstanding.
Like overstanding. So if I read it, I might not get it like I'm supposed to get it. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, I'm kind of confused.
Well, the first book you want, read it a couple, shucks. You know how many times you're going to have to read it to understand it? Over and over. You want to know how many times I've read the Constitution? I can't remember. You're going to read it over and over and over again. And what you are massaging and exercising is your brain. And the act of actually reading for overstanding. Because we were taught to read to finish. So we would read, and then when it was time to say what we read, we didn't know what the hell we read.
Right.
And that's not reading.
Right.
Because to be able to read is to be able to interpret what you're reading and to understand it, and when you finish, you write up about it. And if you read fast, you're not reading. That's just like how the first time I read the first chapter of the Circle 7 Quran. I had to read that over and over and over again. Today, I love what I hear. But before, I'm like, okay. Because we coming from dogma. We coming from dogma while everybody else is living our science. Everybody else is living our culture. And they're utilizing that science to keep us subjugated. So you start with books. And that's usually the natural progression. The binder for newly nationalized Moors. The binder for newly nationalized Moors. You'll eventually be able to download it on the website, MoorisAmericanConsulate.org. I have put a request in to have that binder, which is a bunch of documents put together. And that's all it is. I'm going to show you. I'm going to let you see this because this is all what it is. It's a bunch of documents put together that you need to study. It's law. It's the Circle 7's in there. It's the things. You got the Circle 7? It's all in there. And that's like a study guide, and it has the essentials that you need to kind of get grounded in the supreme laws of the land. And one of the best resources I had coming in, obviously, was watching all of Taj Tariq Bey's videos. And this is actually a chime in for all the scholars, all the matriarchs that, and all the ancestors and the scholars that came before me. That is why I can sit here and stand here and say the things that I'm saying. And I had them written down because I didn't want to forget nobody. So if when you get to it, write it down, because then you can tap into those same resources, those same individuals who I listen to over and over again. I listen to them over and over again. I would go crazy listening to them.
So is this like all one book, or you just put it together?
I put it together. That's not a book. It's a compilation of laws and resources and information that new Moors need coming in.
It says, I am new to much of this, so I would like to know from the wisdom contained here. And then it says, see more. So, and that's Mustafa Abdul.
There we go. Mustafa, you gonna start again today? I gotta mess with you because you messed with me last week. You were targeted. I'm messing with you, Mustafa. Mustafa, what's your question? You and these long, I keep telling you about these long questions. I'm gonna find it. Give me a second. I want to give the scholars that I listened to, I watched, I had books and books of binders that I wrote by listening to those documents. And with Taj Tariq Bey, I listened to certain videos like 7, 8 times. I would be sitting at my desk when I was an accountant, and I would be sitting at my desk watching, listening to those videos while I was doing my work all day long. On the way home, I always listened. And some of it was so new to me. I would listen a lot, write down it, go stop, research it. It used to take me like at least a week and a half to get through one 3-hour video because I had to do the research in conjunction to it. It wasn't enough to just know, oh, when he said something and I didn't know what it meant, I went and looked it up.
Islam.
So I want to give much love for the Moorish scholars, nobles, brothers, and sisters. Without you, I'd still be looking for myself. Lost, still playing Monopoly as a Negro, colored, Black, and African American. So this is my tribute to all those scholars who came before me, who opened my eyes to who I was, because I was looking for me. I was looking for me 5 years ago, because I said, this can't be my life with this family that's not a family to me. And, you know, we only can get together. What 2 times a year do we only get together? Everybody know it. What is it? Funerals and weddings. Funerals, weddings, and but it's sometimes Christmas. But today, Christmas, the people don't really get together, because if you don't got a matriarch in your family to hold y'all together, y'all ain't getting together. Nope. And then most of the time, if you don't have a matriarch to ground you and anchor that family, y'all only getting together to showboat what you got versus what the other one don't. So now it's an ego thing.
Phoenix said to Mustafa, no, you don't have to wait to proclaim your nationality. You can do it today with Judge Sharon's class.
Islam, yup. If he was in here, you would be able to do it. I know, but y'all like to sit home on Saturdays. And I get it because from Monday to Friday, your butts is at the plantations. Working all your energy for somebody else who don't care about you. Share that energy with yourself. If you do 8 hours of straight work hardcore, stop. Stop killing yourself for someone else. Invest in you. I can't say that much. So the people that I want to thank is obviously Prophet Noble Drew Ali and all prophets that came before him, the divine and national movement of the world, the Great Seal, Taj Sharif Bey, Queen Balahara, RB Bay Publications,
yes.
Anna L., Rosmariah Bay,
That's right.
Asir Dukateers,
Yes.
Toriana Asaya, Abashengo L., Dr. Aline Bay, yes. Abdullah L. Talib
Yes.
Mosley Bay,
Yes.
Yafa Bay,
Yes.
Dr. Ben Clark, Ivan Van Sertima. Even though Ivan Van Sertima took a minute, he wouldn't talk about, he would talk a lot about black history and wouldn't equate it to being Moorish history. So a lot of our scholars, old time, did a lot of the brainwashing in the scholarly work that they did because they wouldn't talk about us being Moors. And to some degree, if all your people walking around like Negro colored and black, I don't think I'd be so encouraged to go against the grain if I'm the only one. And I'm just going to say that in defense for the fact that they were just calling it black history and not calling it Moorish history and linking you to that. Because there was a book, one specific book that Ida Van Sertima called what we were here before Columbus. Is that the book? We Were Here Before Columbus. It's a bunch of them. I could take pictures of all the books I have because the first 3 years, that's all I bought. I got bookshelves upon, I don't even know how many books I have. And then that doesn't even include my online library, PDFs, because some of the books are not in production. You get them through PDF. And if you come next week, I can download those books onto a flash drive and give it to you. But like I said, I like tangible, hard copy books because it's easier for me to learn. And then there were 3 individuals like Dr. Sabi and Dr. Layla Africa. The information that I've learned on how to eat more properly, how to drink water to live, as well as that all diseases are curable. I learned those things from Dr. Sabi and Layla Africa.
That's not.
Cordoba Organics. I love Cordoba Organics because it's a nice moisturizing. She has a beautiful skin care, hair care line for people who are natural like me. As well as for people who have, during the winter times have dry skin. I ain't trying to be soliciting these people. I'm trying to just let you know we have vendors out there that we should be supporting, as well as Cosmo L and the People Store. And there's a wealth of other individuals that I would also like to thank, but I don't want to spend the whole time thanking individuals. I gave you those because those were some of the scholars that I studied and researched to get to where I'm at, to know who I am. So I implore you, I actually posted that on my Facebook page also. So you can definitely go to the page and you'll see that information. And I'll probably tag all of those individuals in the YouTube video once I upload it from this platform onto the website. So if you go to YouTube, you'll get all of that documentation. So we're at 11:30. I said a lot. I didn't have my board, and I don't feel right without my board to have everything and to tag everything in, to be able to say the things that I need to say. So if y'all have questions, we can do questions before we come off the live feed, because I am outside of my elements. But
I just answered one of their questions because it said, Brand Douglas Bay says, can you please spell those vendors? And you just got this.
I'm going to upload this onto, I know, let me tell you, when people would sit here and say names and appellations, I'd be like, because we come from English. You don't know how to read, you don't know how to spell because we have English. So when we hear our ancient names, and appellations and different titles for things, we'd be like, how the hell do you spell that? And then the spelling be so off base, so don't worry about the spelling. It is on YouTube. It is on Facebook, and I'm going to tag it onto this video when I upload it to my YouTube channel at the base, so then you can kind of get it there. if you're subscribed to my channel. And that channel is Moorish American Consulate Northeast Amexo. North American Consulate Northeast. Did I say that? Moorish American Consulate Northeast Amexo is my YouTube channel.
NE or Northeast?
Northeast.
Okay.
So what else we want to talk about before we jock out and we get off the platform? The right to travel. We didn't talk about the right to travel. And I want people to send out notifications for the right to travel before they start traveling with the rights. And I say this because you need to notify. You need to notify the governor. You need to notify the sheriff. You need to notify the police departments. We need to notify everybody before we start operating in that capacity. Because guess what I don't want? Ding, ding, ding. Sharon, I just got picked up. They took my plates. They did this, they did that. And now we got to do an extraction. Or my correction, now you have to do an extraction. We have to notify. We have to let this corporate district know the Moors are back in town. They no longer classify as Negro, colored, and black. And you are going to do the things you are required by law to do. You are service. Your jobs are really the service of the Moorish American Nationals. You just overlaid that corporate nonsense and created fiat in order for that to benefit you. When fiat is gone, you will see a new light shining in the Albion's face. I'm telling you this now.
Well, I just went up, but Phoenix wanted you to go back over the removal.
Notice of removal?
Yes.
I knew he was going to say that. Notice of removal. All right, let me go to the instructions. Empress,
is there an email coming for me? Rodney CLH.
No, ain't no email coming from you. No, I'm not emailing nobody. Because I'm tired of y'all harassing me about the damn email. That's why.
Oh, somebody asked, why is the census so important?
The census ain't important to you. I keep trying to tell y'all. When y'all fill out applications, this is how you know if they're talking to you, if they're talking to someone else. And if you need to amend, change, or affidavit something. You look at it like this. Give me that darn application right there. I'm going to show you how I play you.
The Ron Sledge.
Hold on, let me finish this one.
Yeah, what is your question? No, but they asked, can I get the question answered? I don't know what it was.
What's the address? Do you have address, Moors? Do you have addresses? What do you have?
Mailing locations.
Mailing locations. Do you have names, Moors?
No, appellations.
Appellations. What else? Now, other things that might be on the form will say, what's your race? How many races is on the planet? Thank you. Okay, so do you have to have a blank when they ask you what is race? Okay. Are you Negro, colored, black, white, Hispanic? They have others. Islander, whatever the heck that is. Are you any of those things? But this is a census. They're trying to find out who's here. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go all the way up to the top in the small little print. United States Corporation. I bet you that form is for the wards to complete. Because why does the wards have to complete that census form? Answer that. Let's answer that question. Why they got to complete it? Wait a minute. Don't let them answer another question. Why they got to complete the census? Well, one, because they have a privilege. They don't have rights. So they got to do what they told. They're wards, which is a pretty name for slaves and property of the corporate state. So when I ask you as my property, your name, what's your name? When I ask you your address, what's your address? Which one of these things you want to be classified as? But let me tell you, anybody with brown skin better pick this one. Why do they take the census? They want to count. Why do they want to count? What does the count determine? That lovely thing called Congress, that lovely thing called House of Representatives, that lovely thing called Senate, that lovely thing called what I get in financing. That census determines who gets what, how much, and how much their vote impacts a specific election within that corporate jurisdiction. So if all of that is what I'm saying, are they talking to you, Moors? So when they, oh, babies is here. So when they come and they say, why didn't you fill out the census? What should you say? Because they sent you an invitation. They sent a decoy. Let me send you an invitation to take this survey. What is your response? What is your rebuttal? Especially if you read the document and didn't just fill it out, read the instructions, and found out who that document referring to. Moors, you don't fill out the 2020 census. If you get that in the mail, you send them an affidavit of fact of who you are. Or you just send them a copy of your name, declaration, and proclamation in a video color copy of your ID, and you send it all back in track that you sent it in. So that's what's going to happen possibly because you didn't complete it. Somebody might knock on your door. Hello, we're coming from the United States Census Department, and what should Moore say? Wait a minute. I didn't invite you to my domicile. Leave my property. We have to get comfortable with standing our ground on our own land and not allowing, because of us acquiescing to their position, for them to just do whatever they want. They have to have permission to come on your land, and they shouldn't even be sending you anything in the mail, because that so-called mailing location that they like to call an address is corporate in nature. So they're not even talking to you, especially if it's got a, because I don't know if they have actual capital names, you know, those war names. I don't think they come in there. I think they just go to people. I don't know if they specifically have your actual so-called nom de guerre on it. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It might be a blanket. They just send them out. Current occupant, something like that, so it'll come to you.
It'll come to the last person who was listed at that location.
But it ain't coming to a person, it's coming to that nom de guerre, that war name.
You're right. And Phoenix is really good on this. She says the census guys are to take the count of the slaves on the plantation, and then she says how many slaves we still have. That's what the census is about. It's about inventory of the stock.
There you go.
And I used to work for them at a regional level, so I agree. And she's right.
Here's the thing, Moors. If you got family members that fill out that damn form, tell them, don't be surprised you get a knock on the door and somebody moves you. And you got to go because you fill out a census. Wouldn't that be a stupid reason to be moved? And all you got to do is show your what's in your wallet, even though people be like mad at me when I say what's in your wallet. You better have a nationality identification card in your wallet.
That's right.
You better not have that new real ID identification for the corporate ward states, because they are limiting their movements. And if you have that card and you flash that card at the same in one point, that's how they're gonna know who you are, because you flashing a corporate card and you're a Moorish American national. We going this way, you going that way. And me, just why for Moors, for you for instance, when you declare and proclaim your nationality and you got a whole bunch of family members sitting here being belligerent, talking about I don't want to hear about that nonsense, just convey them all into your trust. You convey them all into your trust as beneficiaries or as subjects. And guess what's going to happen after they realize that they subjects to you? They're going to claim their nationality so they ain't nobody's subject. But they wasn't thinking of doing that when they was the subject of the European. Didn't think about it. What other questions we have? So he said go a little bit more in terms of the notice. Let me go see if I can find that.
Someone is still waiting up for their Mac to come in.
This ain't the platform to ask that, because I ain't doing no research right now. That's an email. Huh?
That's what I mean. What?
I gotta find it.
Huh? Sharon Wright. They're going to use it to identify who they're going to round up later, Phoenix said.
Yup. And our people They want to be victimized. Sometimes that's what I think. All you gotta do is tell me you smacking me in the face one time.
I have a question. Wouldn't that be considered a doctrine of discovery? Isn't it the census to discover stuff about you that they don't know?
Doctrine of discovery is where you can claim land that is not claimed by another. But the doctrine of discovery really was how they could discover property that was not, or land that was not owned by Christians.
So by way of surveys,
or Muslims.
So by way of surveys, if you continue to fill that out that you're non-Nagir, then you're open game.
True. They take it anyway because it ain't yours. Not under a non-Nagir. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to the orientation manual. Did I go there? Why did I go there and I got it right here? It is cold. I don't know why they keep turning that air conditioner on. It ain't warm outside like that.
I think they're trying to give us a message.
That's all right. I'm not going where y'all going somewhere. They gonna mimic winter.
That we're bringing the heat.
Huh?
I said we're bringing the heat.
They getting hot under the collar. Mm-hmm. They're like, why? They keep coming every Saturday. Why do they keep coming every Saturday? Oh my God. We gotta put somebody in that damn room. Wait, it's 11 o'clock. Did somebody go down there and see if there's anybody in that room? Go check. Because I'm a confronter. I'm a sage. I play games.
No, you're direct.
I want to see. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to read over this document. I'm going to read over the notice of case removal, which we are going to start accepting cases January 29th. So don't wait till the end of the day. Don't wait till the end to do that piece. Start getting your stuff in order now. Okay? Ain't nobody in there? Go out there and ask her, like, is that person that reserved that room coming in? Yeah, go ahead. I know she was lying. I knew she was lying because it's Saturday, right before the New Year.
To contact the
She lying. She said that darn room was reserved at 11. Or maybe it was this one. No. That room was reserved at 11. This was reserved at 12.
They told us downstairs that we asked if anybody had any of the rooms reserved. She said, "Oh no, we checked." No.
Yeah. Oh, she lied.
That's why I
came right up here and said that.
In the car.
I'm trying to stay in my higher self. I will not be pulled to the depths of lower self-dwelling. Because I was going to go down there. Because I knew she was lying. And I knew she was lying because I don't like her. And she doesn't like me. Ask her what time is reserved for. From what time to what time. I'm just going to play games with her because she playing games. All she probably wanted us to do was reserve the damn room. So
she's fronting on Sharon.
Huh? What?
No, Brandy said she fronting on Sharon. Mm-hmm. and somebody else said they don't want y'all Moors in there. It's our place. This is ours. Right.
You're the guest in the house.
Right.
I'm like,
yes,
gonna keep messing with her. Think she gonna play us.
No,
about none of the rooms are reserved.
We're just gonna keep standing our ground because this is our ground.
Right? She don't want me to find out her name. We can do things with names. Islam family, new face. Hello, how are you? Islam, I'm doing great. Is my baby here? Where's the babies? Both of them?
Everybody laughs saying, "Don't do it, Empress. Don't do it."
They tripping. See here, got me in here. Ain't got my little whiteboard because I would have been going to town.
I know that's
linking
right.
stuff. I know we visual people. I know I'm a visual person. I learn very well visual. Notice of case of removals. I wanted to have this to hand out next week. I'll have the grid for where you at in the process, so you can kind of track your progress. Oh, look at my mama. Islam. They getting uncomfortable. They like, look, we went from not one little Asiatic to a whole room. What are they doing up there? I'm just telling you, this is what they're doing. They're sitting there wondering, it's Saturday, y'all. Y'all know those little Asiatics are coming. But Phoenix, you know they don't use those
Phoenix said, stay on higher, but look her in her face, in her eyes, but say nothing. Your spirit will humiliate her.
I know that's right, but I'm going to say something. I ain't going to not say say nothing. I'm like, you told me this room was reserved. Both of these rooms were reserved, and downstairs they said it wasn't reserved. So are you telling me you lie? I'm like, look, y'all, don't get me to play, and I will leave her personal property and kick her ass out. I will do that. I ain't gonna sit here and get mad at people. I just get their names. What's your name? Okay. And go start looking on the internet and seeing where she lives and taking her and claiming her home. Oh, property.
No, but said I just got to get my paper. I just got to get my transcript, and then I'll send to Light. Already did my extraction paperwork. I was wondering why. This is lovely. I was wondering why she was in a different room. Oh, okay. So.
Yeah, right. You know, because I be having my little board. Don't play with me. I'll be the lead this building. I'm already leaning the whole state of Pennsylvania. So this is part of that. And we've already, this is the part with the Moor National Republic Federal Government Declaration of Trust. All this is yours already. Every last bit. They just holding on until they got to walk out the building with the marshals. And then they be mad. And then they'll be over, just like in South Africa, over there in those little, what do they call them? In those little refugee camps. Because they can't afford to go nowhere else. And they can't get into no other countries with those little corporate cards they got. They can't get in them. I'm just telling you, they have nowhere to go, but yet they're being belligerent at the same time. As well as Federal Reserve notes is almost gone. The government is shut down. What more proof y'all need? Y'all better get y'all 30-day supply. I mean, y'all 90-day supply of food and resources in your homes, so you will be prepared. Because when the stores close up, because of what needs to happen, it needs to happen. Y'all don't get mad about it. It needs to happen. Because the reasons why the majority of us aren't doing the things that we need to do right now is because of those 40 and 80-hour work weeks. That's why. You're not doing it because you're in fear of losing these things that they cannot take away from you. There's no statute of limitations on fraud. So if they've taken things from you, they've taken things from me. You can take them back, all of those things. But get better ones, because the things that they took weren't even worth fighting over. Instead of fighting over that $100,000 house, you go get that $500,000 one that you just kicked them out of. That's where it's coming, I'm telling you.
No, that's right.
Notice of the case removal process. The following are the instructions on safely having or successfully, air quotes, having your cases removed from the unlawful tribunals of the foreign corporate courts of the state of courts. Please make sure you follow directions as not to delay having cases accepted by the Moorish American Consular Court of the Moorish National Republic Federal Government under the Moroccan Empire or Northwest of Mexico. This will be delivered. This will be handed out tomorrow, and you might be able to get this one page today to start if you want it. You just might have to make copies downstairs.
Brandy says, should I convey my my title of my conveyance into the personal trust?
Is it property? I'm going to give y'all these looks.
Really?
Is it property?
Is it yours, Brandy? Yes. Yes.
If it's property,
You're right.
Everything should be
That's
conveyed.
right.
If you own this highlighter, right, this mine, so don't be conveying this highlighter in your trust. This is my highlighter.
What if
but we can share this highlighter. But if this belongs to you, this is how basic. Everything that you own is supposed to be conveyed into your trust. Everything. Including your family that want to identify as Negro, colored, and black. And their property as well.
Somebody asked the question, what do you do if you're already incarcerated? But it went away.
What would you do if you're already incarcerated? What you mean to say is, what would you do if you were detained unlawfully as a ward of the state and denied your rights? Well, the first thing you got to do is, who are you? Are you on the grid? Like I'm going to keep saying that, y'all. Are you on the grid? Did you declare and proclaim your nationality? Well, that would be the first thing to get on that grid to do anything about what's going on with you. Got to get on the grid. The grid that I'm talking about was a grid of, it was a grid of where you're at in your nationality process, what things may spring up that you might need to jump to the notice of removal. You might need to jump to extractions. You might need to jump to whatever you might need to jump to. It's a grid for Moorish American Nationals declared, so you know what you need to be focusing on. So when that new moon comes, you know what you want to be manifesting to the full moon. So you want to know what you need to be working on to the full moon. And we kind of talked about the lunar calendar earlier. We talked about the 4 seasons earlier. And how, why are you laughing?
No, because Brandy keep laughing at you. She said, I'm done with you, Sharon. And she put up all these smiley faces. Like, you giving it to him. So that's right.
The lunar moon calendar, the new moon to the full moon. You set your intentions on the new moon. That's when the moon's dark and you can't see. That's when you set your intentions. The next new moon is January 5th. You started on the new moon, and then by the full moon, you should have all full manifested what you plan to do on that new moon. The next new moon is, like I said, January 5th. That's when you want to be starting to write down what I want to do. What I want to do in the next 14 days. You want to make your energies during that time. And we also talked about the earth glyph. It was an earth glyph. Just to kind of recap real quick. I know that lady out there cracking up and mad. Y'all making her mad. Because she was sitting there like, those toys is for organizational, no demonstration. And the only reason she probably ain't coming here now because too many of us in here now. And she's scared. This is the earth glyph. This is the earth astrological glyph. And I just wanted to show y'all that because that's what it looked like. And I wanted y'all to kind of get that type of... So anyway, spring is when you're supposed to be doing your New Year resolutions, y'all. Not in the dead of winter, January 1st. January 1st, think about right now, it is when Mother Nature is sleeping. She sleeps because she did so much during spring, fall, and summer that she's sleeping. So you can't ask her for nothing. You can't ask her for energy. You can't ask her to help will something, and it's not a good time to set New Year resolution because that's not even your New Year. When does your New Year start?
March.
March what?
21st.
March 21st. It starts technically the 20th into the 21st. So the 20th, 21st is your New Year, y'all. Did y'all know that? That's when you're supposed to be setting intentions. That's when you're supposed to be doing your New Year's resolutions. And it should be involved. They should be more than I want to lose 20 pounds by. Why is it March? Because we ancestrally tracked with Mother Nature. Mother Nature is our track. This January to December is the financial calendar for Roman conquest. It's the Christian calendar year. Your Moorish calendar year starts in spring. And think about Estar, Easter, even though it's a bunny and an egg, but a bunny doesn't lay eggs. We never really thought these things made. So spring is kind of telling you that, it's time to make plans. Nature's waking up. Mommy just woke up for her nap, woke up from sleep, and now she's ready to answer the things that you want. So that's kind of the way you live, through nature, not through financial as chattel property through January to December. That's kind of what we went over earlier, and I kind of wanted to recap. But I wanted people to realize that, let's do the 3 examples again. Let's see. Pick 3 new people. 3 people come up. Come on down. What's this? This The Price is Right. Come on down. I used to love that show. My mom had me watching that show. Come on. Come on up here, beautiful. She's scared. I'm going to be in the middle. Come on. Somebody else come on up here. Really? Are y'all serious? Nobody's going to get their little butts up? We're doing the moon cycle.
I'm not even talking. Wait a minute.
You gotta get right here. Come on, mama. Come on, mama. We all family. We are family.
Hey, she got no problem.
Right? She be on the table. Right? Let me stop. But anyway, she new moon. She new moon. So she's thinking. That's all you gotta do.
Look like that.
You gotta be like up in the sky. Because guess what? That's how you activate your thought gland. You be like, you're accessing that part of your brain for thought. So the new moon, she's thinking, right?
Oh.
And then I'm sitting here, all right, I got that thought. All right, this is what I want to do. So I'm writing down my thoughts. She new moon. So she January 5th. I'm around the 6th to 7th because I done already thought what I want to do. So now I'm writing. And we doing this by nationality. So she thinking I need to proclaim to declare my Moorish nationality. Now I'm studying, writing down, seeing how I'm going to do this, right? And then he's actually mailing it. So he's folding up paper, dropping it in the mailbox. Fold up paper, drop it in the mailbox. Fold up paper, drop it in the mailbox. So this is how we are supposed to utilize the energies to be able to make the moves that we need to move, formulate those thoughts, put those thoughts on paper, and then execute them. That's what the full moon. You want to be you want to be in the new moon here. By full moon, you want to have it done. So new moon, full moon, waxing, waning. So in order to what's the word I'm looking for? To be happy and settled. So that's the only thing I want to say. See, that was easy. Look, and you're still thinking. Thank you. Let's give them a hand. So I just wanted to kind of recap that because we talked about that earlier today. And ancestors last night wouldn't let me get no sleep, so I had to do this. Because when you have things to get done, you won't be able to sleep. And what do some of us do to get our butts to sleep? What we do? We might take some pills, we might drink, we might do all types of stuff just to get some sleep because our spirit that's inside of us to tell us to get stuff done, when you go to sleep, if you notice, if you turn everything off and it's dead silence, does your brain still go? And isn't it telling you to do a whole bunch of stuff? That is your internal spirit trying to tell you to do some shit that you're ignoring. and you're kind of, what is it called? You're kind of giving it all types of medicine. It might be to put the TV on. Because for a long period of time, I would just keep the TV on, so I had to listen to my inner voice tell me what I have to do, what I should do, that I want to suppress and I want to ignore. So at nighttime, just turn TVs off and listen. Turn it off and just listen. Like what? And then you'll be sitting there like, oh my God, I got a lot to do. Do that next couple of weeks and see. All right. All Moors are encouraged to have previously recorded their nationality with the Moorish American Consulate and have received a record number before filing the notice of removal with the Moorish American Consular Court. You can still process the notice of removal, but can you? Because you're not on the grid. If you ain't declared or proclaimed your nationality, you ain't even on the grid. Why are you going to notice of removal? You're not on the grid. You can only be on that grid if you proclaim and get coded here again and declare your nationality. So get that done, because you can't challenge their status. You can't challenge or rebut anything that they say if you are in a dead status. That's the point. You can sit here and send them motions, send them all types of stuff, know their code, statutes, and ordinances better than they do. They still gonna violate you, because there's no law stopping them from doing it. So nationality is the order of the day, and if you've already done that with the multitude of Moorish science temples or Moorish other institutions, and they didn't realign you back with the corporate state, which some of them are doing, then you just send PDF versions of those to the Moorish American Consulate, and we will give you a Moorish American Consulate number, record number. Now, it's like 4 steps. It's going to be elaborated on, but I don't want to kind of overkill it with instructions because it really is basic. Download and complete the notice of removal, Moorish appellation here. So you want to download the notice of removal, attach all supporting documentation, citations, summons, war rants, rulings, summary judgments from the previous cases. Add copies copies of the initial complaint and action first on the document list. Also add the docket. We only remove one case at a time per Moor. So make cases to be singularly. So don't try to do one notice of removal and you have multiple cases, because each case might be with a separate or a different so-called judge, or a different acting judge, or a different municipality, a different county. Depends on where you at, right? Step one is complete. Send the PDF to, I'm going to give y'all the email later because I don't want y'all sending nothing yet. Just right now, until the 29th, you have time to prepare. And this is about preparing. This is about thinking what you want to manifest. And then getting the documentation ready so it doesn't get pended because you've missed some steps, like you didn't get a record number, but you do have status. And then to actually execute, meaning you're sending it to the Moorish American Consulate for acceptance. All right? Once the Supreme Judiciary receives the notice of removal, and as long as all supporting documentation was received from step one, the Vizier Mohammedan judge will send certified mailings to all parties and or tribunal. The writ of acceptance of removal of case to the Moorish American Consular Court document will be completed by the Vizier accepting the case, and that particular case acceptance is not only going to be emailed or sent to you, most likely emailed, y'all. So make sure when you send your stuff in, yes?
Sharon, Phoenix says one judge, one court, 4 cases for same occurrence.
Say again?
One judge, one court, 4 cases from same occurrence.
It can't be from same occurrence. That means you got 4 different cases. You might have them all with the same judge, but if they got different CV numbers, civil violation number, that's a different case. They're not lumping them up in one. Do you have were all the decisions made in the same document brief? If you got different summary judgments, they're not the same. Where was that? So the acceptance letter of your case, that means I said, oh, I accept this case under the northeast region of the Supreme Judiciary, and I'm going to adjudicate that case. That acceptance is going to go to the Moor that submitted the notice of removal, and it's also going to go to the tribunal and the clerk of courts. It's going to go to all 3 of those things and a number of other individuals. All case summaries will be placed on the public records and viewable from the website. So they'll all be placed once we adjudicate the cases and give our decisions. They will be on the website, downloadable, and they will be sent with writs of execution based on what the decision is. The decision could be a multitude of decisions, but the majority of the cases will most likely be adjudicated in the favor of the Moor because the courts don't have jurisdiction. So a lot of the cases are not going to get past jurisdictional challenge. All of the cases may not get past jurisdictional challenge because they're not Article 3 courts. They should not be adjudicating. Once the de jure court has come back on the land, they were supposed to dissolve all of their caseloads and transfer them. They have to dissolve them. That's ex parte mulligan. Once the Supreme Court, the actual Supreme Court, the actual Article 3 Supreme Court comes back on the land, all other courts are supposed to dissolve their so-called caseloads. Okay? Okay, and then the other stuff is just like preliminaries and just like little stuff to do on the notice of case removal. So where are we at in time? Oh, we at 12:05. Ain't nobody coming here saying nothing. I wonder why. We're at 12:05. Any questions? Because we're going to jump down off the live feed. I did want to talk about the right of travel, but I think so many people, have an issue. There's something Northeast Vizier, Sharon, Tracy Del Bay wants to require. I don't know I don't know. I want you guys to send out the writ of the right to travel to, just like how when we do the notice of existence, not the notice of existence, just like how we do the, what do you call it? Our nationality documents and we send it to the 7 locations. Proclamation. Just like how we send those out, I want you guys to send them out. Send the notices out to your local so-called corporate governments to put them on notice. Because right now, what we need to be doing is notifying everybody. I've notified PA, corporate state. Sharon Tracy Del Bay with the right to travel document that's listed on the website. Many other Vizier judges are notifying the territories, and it's up to all Moors to download it and send it in. It's up to all Moors to download it and send it in before we start putting those plates on our conveyances. And one of the other requirements I really need to have is nationality, identification cards, your trusts done. Before you should be even thinking about the right to travel. Because by the time you get those three things done, you have the competency, and you're going to read a lot of the stuff on the right to travel. And we're going to have an official class that talks about your rights and how to defend them. So you'll have the necessary class, and you'll be required to take that class online. It's at your leisure. Do it if you want to. Ignore it. But it's going to help you in fighting for your rights if you get hypothecated or if somebody tries to, or if a bandit on the road tries to pull you over. And if anybody has any questions?
I have a question. Now, when you want to do the right to travel, if you already have your government issued driver's license, does that become void?
The driver's license is a contract, right? It has an expiration date, meaning it's a privilege, and that privilege can expire when the date comes. It would behoove you to return it with an affidavit, or at least to tell them that you no longer want it. So it's an affidavit to let them know, and that's part of what the right to travel document does. The right to travel document has a lot of the law in it, and I suggest you kind of read that document because it'll give you why you're turning it in. It'll give you all the law as well as case law. And I know somebody had posted something yesterday on Facebook.
I just got my license for the first time, like 2 months ago.
Are you serious? Wait, I know we used to do that. Wow, you just got it when? It was literally that soon?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was scared to drive for 23 years. I got it. I got it in October.
You talking about 2 months ago?
I said 2 months ago.
She got her license 2 months ago to drive. I'm like, damn it. So everybody been driving you all over the place for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
I have a couple of friends that used to do that.
I was test driving a car, and I made it to the bank, took the money out the bank, but I never made it back to the person. On the way back, I'm driving, didn't swerve from hitting anything, it's still going to turn. And it locked, and the brake stopped. So I couldn't walk for a year. So I had a serious phobia.
I can understand it because it is dangerous, especially when you get on that highway. I know I had a family member who would drive everywhere, would never get on the highway. She would go locally. Yeah, it's scary. That is scary. I ain't gonna front.
I'm driving now, but
you're traveling actually.
Well, yeah.
Any other questions?
One here.
Let's say you do have your license and your license expires. You just never go back to renew it. Like, are you out the system or?
Well, no, you're not out the system until you take yourself off the system. Mm-hmm. And that would be through nationality and putting them on notice as to your status correction. And that's part of the right to travel piece too, relinquishing those instruments. And I don't encourage people to do it until they get to that step in competency, because when you're challenged, you need to know how to answer that challenge. And I actually saw a show that said, when you know law, you can't go to war. When you know law, y'all loud back there, babies. When you know law, you can't go to war. So what that means is that if you know law, there's no reason to fight. If you stand on the fundamental principles of law, there's harmony, tranquility, and there's no purpose to go to war and to have arguments with people because you stand on that law. And if you know it, they can't offend you. And if they do, you're an injured party, and you can claim a remedy from that person. And that's what it's really about. Any other questions?
Well, someone has Anaya Bay. I hope I'm not messing up her or bashing it too bad. Her appellation. Still confused about the trust. I've set up a foreign trust, but haven't done the DBA doing business as on it yet.
I don't know about no DBAs.
Okay.
Doing business as. I don't know about that.
No.
So we're going to end 12-12, like that number. We're going to end now on the live feed and get in the class. So Islam family, if nobody else has any questions, Pax to Moor, peace and love. Islam.
Stop it, Shane. Stop it. Finish. Just hit finish.
Yeah, you want to hit finish.
Again, we're gonna do this again. Let's do this again. Again, this is Chemo Hadid of New Mind Theocratic, and she just sent me a voicemail. So I'm in the room now, sis. So come on in. So we waiting on the sister giving me an interview, and we figured we'll try it on my end. So send me the invite, sis, if you see it. You see the invite? What's up, Phillips? My best friend, Philip. My super friend, super welder. No, Philip, it's supposed to be for her. She giving me the interview. I know you want to do a share screen. She trying to do the share screen, Philip. I'm sorry, my friend. All right, sis, you trying it? Anything happening? You can't see it? All right, let me see something. All right, sis, you see it now? I wonder how Philip could do it. You see it now, sis? Okay. Well, what do you want to do? You want to question me through your text, or how's that? Yeah, you can call me. On the phone, yes. You need the office line? Yeah, I can put you on loudspeaker on the office line. The office line is 770-353-0750. You got that, sis? It's 770-353-0750. Facebook don't want us to Facebook don't want me to let you have the information I see. So just call me. We could do the live interview from my office line. Okay. Islam family, this is Moor Hadib on a live telephone interview. It's supposed to have been a live feed interview, but they blocking the information that I'm going to give to the world. So they don't want me to let you all have it. They want you to stay in debt, a debt society. And drink my heart tea. Wow. So how you all doing today out there in Facebook world? Christmas Day or whatever you want to call it. I hope everyone is fine. I'm waiting for a call in from my sister. She's want to do a live feed, so I'm waiting for her to call in. So, sis. It's been a long day, been a lot of deals worked on today. I mean, it's been a very long day, a very exciting day. The number is 770-353-0, and it's what, 07. It's 770-353-0750. You got it, sis? That's area code 770-353-0750. Just waiting for her to call in so we could continue on the, this interview that she wants to bring the world, and hope that you all can hear it on her end. Okay. Now, do you have your camera running on your end so they can get the live feed on your end so they can hear the interview? I hope you all having a safe afternoon wherever you are. Okay, you're going to share. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm waiting for you to call. That's an international call from Germany, so you might need to put the international code is 770-353-0750. I think I might look kind of crazy.
Why you say that?
Being on Facebook like this, looking kind of crazy, just standing to this camera like this.
You should have practiced how to make it work first.
Yeah.
You should have did a tech run through.
Yeah, we did. We should have did.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's part of the process.
Oh yeah.
You learn it. We'll do a tech go through before the next time.
So people just going surfing through Facebook and they see me just sitting there and just. Someone said, "No, you look okay, Prince." You know what, Michael. I deal with a lot of stuff day in, and you all don't believe some of the stuff that goes on in some of these boardroom meetings. And sometimes I drop my head and turn away like, is he serious? And for you to say that, Mike, okay, thumbs up. So we wait for them to call in. Waiting. I don't know what's going on either. Give me your number, text it in so I could call you from this end. Okay, we waiting. What's your number? I could call you from my end. Islam, peace. My Moorish brother. Well, we were supposed to be doing an interview, and we supposed to have started in her room. For some reason, it didn't allow me to come through, so we jumped in my room, and it didn't come through on her side. So now we're gonna do a phone conference in the room so you all could try to catch it. I guess she's gonna run her feed so they could hear the live interview while they talking to me while you all catch me on the camera. So I guess she's gonna run her camera so they can see her talk. So wow, Facebook don't want this to happen. They don't want this interview to go through because I'm about to give you all some knowledge of truth. So you gonna see how I'm moving on this platform so you can live the same platform that I'm living. So everyone need this wealth. They don't want this wealth to get out. So waiting on her to send me the number so I could call her in Germany so this interview could go live. Okay, here we go. So give me a second, people. Zero. 4, 1, 2, 3, 9, 2, 2, 9, 7.
The number you have dialed is currently unavailable.
Wow, okay, let's try this.
Password. Thank you.
All right, we're back. What happened?
Please enter your password. Thank you.
All right, we made some headway. Let's see what happened. They're not letting it go through for nothing.
Please enter your password followed by... Thank you.
Well, people, for some reason, someone is cutting us from getting online to meet with this sister for this live interview. So I don't know what to tell you. And that's the office number. The office number, again, sis, is 770-353-0750. So, people, again, this would have been a beautiful interview. And I don't know what to tell you. They stopping it from going through. So, Brother Solomon, make sure somebody's not got a, they can't get my face. I'm too high up in the sky, so they can't scope anyway. So, I'm laughing about this. Islam, family, Islam, sis, Islam, bro. Islam, thumbs up for the family. Just wait for this interview to go through. Man, how are you all doing? You could talk to me. Someone said, wow. Someone else wave. Someone tell me they can't, okay. So, what I'm trying to get accomplished here is this interview for the sister so she can run this interview live. So, she tried to chime in. Facebook didn't allow her to come in. So, we're gonna try the telephone, so let's see what happens. So just bear with us. We call this technical difficulty. And they're trying to stop it from happening. So she's gonna try another. Okay, go ahead, sis. I'm waiting. I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone is good. Thumbs up. You want me to use my cell phone? I'm actually on my cell phone, so how would that work, sis? Well, my cell phone number, if you want to use it, is area code 480-453-3121. And I'm gonna go ahead and try my computer so I can get off the phone. I'll bring my computer live. And see how Facebook gonna chime on that one. Oh wow! What is this? What is this? Islam.
Hello?
Hello, sis.
Hey.
About time, sis. Can the
other number? You gave me a like the one that I tried has a different ending.
Oh.
Like the number at the end is different.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna go live on my computer and see what happened. So, you ready to go live, sis, with the interview?
Yeah, if not, then we just stay on your page like we just are. You know, people don't have to see me. The information is what is important. Okay. So, all right, let's get started, people. Islam family. This is. You want to introduce yourself, sis? Because I'm the one not. I'm the one not supposed to be. I got to laugh about this. Go ahead, sis. I don't know if they can hear you or not. Yeah. I'm Nita Reed, and my platform is called Nita's Universe. And my goal is to gather as much information as possible that's helpful and beneficial for our people. So, and, that's why I invited you to be a guest on my show.
Right,
because you are very knowledgeable, and you are gonna cover a lot of the topics today.
Okay, Islam. Okay.
Now, my first question is, what is a trust? And what is the information that's most important about it? So you don't have to go too deep into it.
Okay, what is a trust? Okay. The definition, what is a trust? Now, a trust could be set up in different types of ways that secure your personal wealth or your corporation wealth or your business wealth. Well, basically, trust goes all the way back to our ancestors who establishing the treaties against one another or with other nations in trust. So trust is something that's established like a living will, a living document that you showing protection under the soul man. And what you do is you put it in a document that giving you saying all your personal belongings, everything that you own, your land, your children, wife, you put in a document and you seal it by your royal decree. And your royal decree is your family seal if you have a family seal. And that document is to be entrusted to a trustee. And in some cases in royalty and monarchship, trustees could be ran by the cabinet. So such as a king or a queen, and the lands could be entrusted or the wealth to be entrusted to a trustee that be distributed out as such as if the king said, well, I want to give so much to the people that is in my land. So what the trustee do, he'll go out and distribute so much gold or silver to the people, and he'll entrust the trustee to make sure these endeavors is done. So if you talk about modern day trust, now if people look at the trust laws in different states, it's taking the sovereignty away, they're taking the privacy away out of trust and putting it on a corporate platform that if you put your personal trust into the banks or the courts, you let them know what is going on in your life. That's why if you should die or pass on and you have a living will and then you have a trust, they already know. The probate courts already know what's in your trust. So it's not private no more. So that's why you need to be on the private side dealing in trust, because the state could come in and if say all your family pass on. So who your trustee going to give this estate to? So you really have to be paying attention to how you put your trust together.
So there's a way that you can do this on your own without having to involve the government to set it up for you or something like that.
Yes, you can pretty much put your trust together. Your trust is your last will, or how you want everything done, and how you want to coordinate your wealth. A lot of people don't understand that. The first thing to do, they go to a lawyer and ask the lawyer to put the trust together. So the lawyer put the trust together. He knows what's in your trust. Your lawyer, you're making your lawyer your trustee over your trust. So you want to sit down and write this trust right off the top of your head, how you want to trust, what rules and regulations, if you have children, how you want your trust to be distributed out, just like a will.
Okay. There are also clauses that you have to put in there, right? Like what is the
it's also clauses and dealing with
administration.
You want to get a trust administration on how you want this trust to be written out or choreographed. You have like in the federal government, they have irrevocable trust, they have professorial, they have all the different trusts. But when you want to make sure you want to be on a living trust, you want to make sure it's a irrevocatory living trust. That's the main one that you want to focus on.
Okay. All right, hold on. All right. Now, what is the difference between a public bank and a private bank?
Okay. A public bank is a bank that deal in the public on the platform dealing with admiralty laws in the United States, and that's a debt platform. They are dealing with the paper and the Federal Reserve on not bringing forth the truth asset of as used as the commodity. If you understand how the United States was formed and the trade, we was the commodity. We was the wealth of the nation. And I'm gonna say us mean Aboriginal people, because we have to understand how the market worked. Okay, and I'm gonna go into history on debt and versus private banking. Now, the families who control the cotton fields and control the South had trade with foreign countries and also with the North. And I'm going into why it's again. We're going to do this again. Let's do this again. Again, this is Chemo Hadid of New Mind Theocratic Kingdom. And she just sent me a voicemail. So I'm in the room now, sis. So come on in. So we waiting on the sister giving me an interview. And we figured we'll try it on my end.